Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, we're currently going through a new process of taking a subframe out. If you've been back here before, thanks for coming back. But right now we're focused on getting the hood off of the car so we can actually support the motor properly. One of my good friends, Austin Simmons here, he's the guy who's actually, playing the music in the background. But he just wants to learn a little bit about how to work on cars and kind of the process for it. So I've kind of just taken him under my wing for that part of it, help him out, get him through it, and then kind of get him the basics. But yeah, this video, like I said, we're dropping the subframe, going through that process and going through the motions. All right, so we're going through the process of setting the leveler so that way the motor's not swinging all over the place and it's just kind of holding it there so it doesn't move. Should be pretty straightforward, pretty easy to kind of set the chains on, get everything lifted in the air. I'm just kind of moving all of the jack pieces in the right places so I can put this under the subframe to support it. And of course, I had to put Austin to work. He needs to learn how to work on cars, all the pain points of working on cars. So I'm kind of putting him through the paces right now, making sure he can do everything. So now that the leveler's set, everything's out of the way, we just need to move the rest of the things out of the way, which would essentially be the chair, my roll bar that's over there in the corner, little things, just to make a little bit more room and more comfortable. I'm starting. So I started having him go through the process of just taking the front subframe bolts out while we figure out where everything else is, just to have that there. But the jack stand is underneath to support it. We're just kind of bouncing around from side to side, trying to get both of them out, or all four bolts out. So during this process, I was thinking I was able to pry everything out with just taking those off, but I was sadly mistaken. So I had to go through the process of looking for the rest of the bolts. Should have just looked it up online, would have been a lot easier, but who needs instructions? Am I right? Am I right? There's like no room under here to jack anything up. Slow and steady we go here. Oh, it's not going to come down yet. I think there's more bolts to this than I thought. Yeah, we gotta take the back bolts off. There's still two more. And it's 17mm bolts. So one more to go, one more to go.
I'm afraid of breaking things.
Nah, you'll be fine. It's all metal.
So this thing,
Yeah, it didn't break. It just came out the side. That's what it's supposed to do.
Wait, is it recording?
Yup.
Hey, let's go.
Money.
Get this bitch out.
I think it's safe to say that we found the rear bolt. For any of you, oh my God. For anybody else having the same issue I ran into, let me get my damn phone. Trying to take the subframe out. There's one extra bolt right there. Don't forget that, people. Don't forget it. Of course. Well, it's down. Probably a couple more things need to move, but.
Well, I definitely feel like this needs to move.
Yeah, it needs to let go, is really what it needs to do. That's pretty much it, though. Once that's down, then it's over. All right, so got everything out. So far, so good. Where'd that go? There we go. So subframe's out at this point. Just need to drop it a little bit lower and then pull it back. Probably, maybe forward, we'll see. But that way we can actually take the oil pan off, which is right here. So almost there. Taking longer than expected. All right. I just need this to come out a little bit. Get this set. Come on out now. There we go. Nice. All right.
Shit, I thought that the garage closed by itself, the garage door, and she's out here.
It's all good. She's not gonna try and get out of there. Hi, Mama. Hi. She's a shop dog. She likes being out here, which is crazy to me, considering all the nonsense that we get into or that I get into out here. But don't tell me I broke that. Can you watch the other side for me? Yeah, no rush. Take your time. Oh, you need to go up? They're right there. The HDX box. It has to be on top of the subframe where it's at, because that's where the mounting holes are up top. So we just want it to be on top and not underneath, just so it's not being crushed. So you should be good. Just down a little bit more. Hitting the brake a little. Yeah. Cool. So we can go forward. Can you go forward at all? Up to the front of the car a little more? Sweet. Okay.
Barely.
Yeah, just keep it right there, because then we should be able to come down all the way. I think, nope, we're stuck on something again. Oh, I think we're on the legs now. I want to say. Yeah, we're on the legs now. Sweet. All right. Subframe's down. So now we can get to this oil pan a lot easier. We don't need it to move all out of the way. We just need it to be down. So. Got it. Nice. Hopefully it will work well for me on this side. So, in order to get this whole oil pan off, I need to take the motor mounts off. And once we're done with those, then we can take the rest of the pan off. Update. It's open. Really looking good. It is finally got through. I pretty much went to the corners. You can't see it. So I have a light that moves the thing down. 2 seconds. Okay. So we got in there. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, so if you ever have to do this in a tight space, I would say that's a really tight space in here. So I would just go ahead and do what I ended up doing is, let's see if this light will stay there. Grab this in with the hand. Took a chisel and went to this edge right here. So you can see that metal, there's a little bit of pressure, so you kind of have to do it evenly, but, oh, there goes the light. But sitting it right here on the corner and then just hitting it with a hammer, it kind of makes it a little bit easier to get through. If you can pry it slowly through everything else, that's perfect, but if not, that's another way. So let me get to work on pulling this thing off all the way. Hopefully you can see something, but try and pull this down. So I'm essentially working my way around the oil pan just to kind of find a way to get it out, and then eventually we find a way to get it out. So we finally get it out. I'm just looking over everything, making sure I don't see any major chunks or anything of that nature. But it's kind of interesting because I do find something. and I end up finding a metal spring in here. So I think it came from my rear main seal job last time. When I was prying it to get it out, it probably popped off the back of the seal and then went into the oil pan. So luckily no issues, but it could have been a lot worse. I don't think I really sealed it properly last time, so, well, I sealed it, but I didn't really clean this off, so my mistake, you know, years ago stuff. Let me find a place to put you. So we'll have to obviously still wash all this out anyway, but we'll try and block off a little bit. So I'm just slowly getting the edges off, and then I use 1000 grit sandpaper to get any of the little things out. Alright, so got a new baffle for the oil pan. It's from CAD Spec Engineering. So it has the trap doors welded in, TIG welded in, to prevent any type of, one, from them falling off, but two, to prevent and kind of keep the oil around to pick up G's when I'm on the track and when I'm doing anything, drifting, whatever. If I decide to do that, I won't have to worry about oil kind of coming up and then not coming back in or swinging and going that route. So this, yeah, this should take care of it. So I'll get this out, clean this up, probably gonna go to the store, get the seals for this, and then I'll be right back. So we got OEM with the normal baffles that are in there. You can't take out, obviously. And then we have the new hotness. So I don't even think I need to explain how different this is. This is different. So now we're going through the process to go ahead and just clean out the oil pan now that we got everything set up. So I just use brake clean, spray it out, try and get any gunk, any little loose pieces of rubber or anything that's in there really out. I just keep spraying it, wiping it, spraying it, wiping it, trying to find all the little pieces I can get, as many as possible, if not all, and then let it air dry, essentially. Now it's time to just throw the baffle in real quick. And we're just going to clean up the pickup tube as well. That's usually the part that gets stuck to your car when trying to take the oil pan off. All right, another contributing factor, geez, to possible reasons why I'm seeing oil all over the place. See this O-ring? How trash that looks. I don't know if it'll focus on that, but it's all warped. I don't know if that's just from coming out or not, but obviously we'll replace that. Then we'll keep going, but yeah, I think it should come out completely here in a few minutes. So I think Austin must have broke a bolt, but it's all good either way. It's all part of the process. So I found a broken bolt earlier, but I didn't know where it came from, really. So looks like it's right here on the beginning part of it. So no big deal. I just put an extra bolt here so I knew which way it was tightened and which way it was loosened. But yeah, so vice grips, twist it. It's not usually on tight after the fact. So as we twist it to the right, it should just come right out. Assuming the teeth stay on top of this. And there we go, cool. So no issues there, but lost the light. But now we have the beautiful part, which would be the pistons and rods. So mainly just the rods, but you can see everything we have in here with Seiko pistons and then Manley rods, HP. So I don't think there's anything terribly crazy under there, which is nice. no problems, which is nice. I don't see any issues. I don't see any scarring. Everything seems tight, so far so good. Now I'm gonna clean the mating surface underneath. That's basically attached to the motor, and then yeah, I'll go get the gaskets and we should be good to slap this bottom end back together for the most part. So when installing your oil dipstick, push down and twist until you hear the noise. That way it's a lot easier. Boom. In. Money. So I wanted to use some Honda Bond, but I couldn't find any local because they don't sell it local. So I ended up getting some Permatech Max Flex. So it should be fine. So I just layer it up, put it around everything. Not heavy doses as much as I did before, but a good amount. There's some finagling. Finally got them to meet up. So use the jack stand method to get the oil pan lifted up. Just kind of gasketed everything as we went through it. So yeah, here we are. Almost there now. Put the bolts in, tighten them up, let it sit overnight, and then I'll put everything else. All right, so we're gonna put this drain underneath just in case any oil does come out. And we'll do a quick and dirty fill just to see if anything is leaking. So update, it's dry underneath after a full day of sitting with oil in it. So I'm feeling pretty confident I can put everything back together pretty quick. It's a lot easier to put it back than it is to take it out sometimes, especially when it's your first time. So yeah, we'll start putting the subframe, putting all the bolts back in for the transmission, for the bottom portion for the oil pan. Sync that all up, and then once we're done with all that, we should be good to go ahead and put the subframe back up. And then, yeah, start the reintroductory process of bringing this car back to life and putting it back on the ground. So by the end of this week, it needs to be on the ground. That's just my own personal note. So I'll see if I can find the time for that. But yeah, happy that this is out of the way. Happy. And if you guys want to know the source of my oil leak, ready for it? Super simple. Oil pan gasket. I had it double layered for whatever reason. I'm not sure why I tried to put that in like that. So yeah, double stacked. So this one's fine. Honestly, I might just keep it, but I have another one already. I put it in there, so we should be golden. So hopefully no more leaks anytime soon. Like, comment, and subscribe, baby.